Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're going to look at Richard Sala's Evil Eye #6. Okay, this is by Fantagraphic Books, and I forget the exact year, but we'll check it out when we get inside. So this is 6. This was hard for me to find. If you are interested, you could pick this up in a collected graphic novel. Just go to Fantagraphics or Amazon or something like that, or your friendly neighborhood comic book store and ask them to order it. You could pick it all up. There's only, excuse me, there's only 12 issues in the entire series, but I am a freakazoid and I have to get the actual floppies. So there you go. And this was really difficult to find. So there you go. All right, so backstory. I was talking to Brian Bao. Brian Bao does the wonderful comic Wolf and Betsy, and he recommended this to me. He said he was inspired by this. We were talking about the backgrounds in one of his comics. That's right. I remember now. And he said, check out Evil Eye, and you'll see the backgrounds. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm intrigued. I picked up issue #1, and I saw exactly what he was talking about. But I was also hook, line, and sinker. I was taking it right away. So this is a split comic. There's two stories. There's Reflections of a Glass Scorpion, and there's Pellicula. And this is Pellicula. You know, and one thing I have to notice, that the monsters are always grabbing boobies. You know, I guess, you know, you could take the life out of the man, but you can't take the desire to grab boobies out of the man. You know, there's only certain things undeath can cure. All right, and if that is cured, I don't want to be cured. All right, so here we got the letters pages with this just wonderful, like quirky art. Is that the best way to describe it? And I always like to look at the letters pages, but I don't know any of these letter writers. So there we go. September 2000. So this is the Reflections of a Glass Scorpion. This is spoilers if anybody is concerned, if you like, because you do not know what is really going on until this issue. This issue explains it all. And I remember Brian said, be patient. It makes no sense. But I was just enjoying the ride. I was getting a lot of like a Love and Rockets kind of vibe out of it. The art is wonderful. It's quirky. It's charming. But you could tell that there was a story. I know I'm probably going to get people mad about this, but like David Lynch, I get the feeling that he just makes up a lot of stuff as he goes along, like Twin Peaks. I gave up. Anybody can be weird, but it takes talent to be weird and pull it all together so that, oh, okay. And I know David Lynch, I'm a David Lynch fan, don't get me wrong. But Twin Peaks, I just watch it and I don't even care anymore. I just watch it. It doesn't make sense. He's not trying to make sense. It's almost like he's goofing on everybody who was, and so I got that vibe. And I was just going along for the ride until this issue pulled it all together. So if you really want to get this comic and get that like lost, but you're enjoying the lost, then I don't know what to tell you. Skip to the Pellicula, or just look at the artwork. So this guy is trapped in a dungeon, and he's talking. This is the original. He's the original docent or curator of the museum, and he's just like, oh, everybody must be looking for me. I'm down here, and he's like, he doesn't even know who he is. So this guy has been keeping himself sane with the fantasy that there's like everybody's wondering where the wonderful original curator of the museum is missing. And sad truth is nobody even knows he's missing. How horrible is that? So this guy right away starts telling us pretty much the same thing. The police were about to, I told the police that I was going out, so they're going to be looking for it. So he's telling himself, I think, setting himself up for the same fantasy. And this is his most recent companion who was tortured and killed. And then we cut to this girl. She's being escorted up into the top of the tower by this shadowy figure. And he's like, wow, I didn't think you were allowed up here. I've been going to this school for so long, and and this is like the mystery. Who is this person? And then we go back to this guy, and he's like, oh, the police are going to come, So he right away, it's almost like sad. He's right away setting up the same fantasy in his head. I guess that's what you need to do when you're in prison. You have to have a hope. And this is the main character. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name. But she's a college reporter. She's a plucky young reporter. And it's pretty much this guy set the whole story in motion by going after her. He thought that she knew everything. She didn't know anything. And because he went after her, she got sparked to be curious, and that started like the whole story. If this guy had just gone about his business, if Woody had gone straight to the police, this would never have happened. If he had just ignored her. So now she's captured, and he's like, go ahead, scream and yell, and she's a plucky reporter, so she calls his bluff and screams and yells. And so he freaks out, and he goes out. Then we cut to this girl walking around like, wow, I can't believe I'm up here. This is so cool. How long has it been? And then this page just really disturbs me. Just really disturbs me. Look. And then he just stabs her. And it's just no words. These two sound effects. Thud, rasp. It's just, I don't want to say horror, because I don't know. It's just disturbing. And it works so well because she was just so innocent, and he draws girls so cute. And then he comes back with food to feed his prisoner, and she's already free. And she's like, I carried a knife strapped on the inside of my thigh, and you were too much of a gentleman to search a girl, and blah, 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 blah. And now she's turning the tails on him and holds the knife on him. And this is it. This is the explanation. I'm not going to read it because I don't want to ruin the story. But everything in the black here explains everything that's going on, I'm not going to read it because I want you to read it and figure out. So these is just it. And this guy, all she does is hold like a switchblade knife to him, and he just gives up everything. That's what he is. But he's the sniveling yes man behind the villain. You know what I mean? So it works. And then this poor girl over here, and then the mysterious figure is injecting her. So, I don't know because I haven't read issue 7 yet, but I'm guessing from the dialogue and the implications that she might be healed, resurrected, turned into a zombie or something. And she's just sitting, she's basically like he could overpower, but this guy's such a civil, and I think he just wants to get it off his chest, and he's explaining everything that's going on. These girl pirates are a big part of the story. Excuse my cough. Jeez, this freaking cough won't go away. And she's, now she's reprimanding him, and he's like, yes, I know. And then she's like, okay, now we're going to fix this. And then this, we get these characters run the campus police, who's a big fat slob, and now I guess next, so what do we got? Like 6 more issues of her, I guess, to fix everything. And then this is Pellicula. She's like almost like a passive figure in her own story. And this is the villainous girl. I just love the simple costume. And then these teenagers are going off into the woods, and they're just according to my calculations, she'll be here. So they're always trying to capture Pellicula. Why? I have no idea. And she's just like, okay, well, I hate her. And then he just flies away, and now these teenagers, he's talking about this radio that he discovered that sends out Z frequencies that picks up communications from the dead. So she's like, will I be able to talk to my pet cat and stuff? I don't believe this. This is nonsense. I don't know. Isn't this like impossible? And then Pellicula, she's always just walking around. She wears the same outfit, barefoot with these legs. She draws girls so cute, and then she just comes flying out, and kapow, they just fight. And now they're just battling it out. I don't know why. Doesn't matter. And he turns on this communication device, and look at this. I feel like I'm reading a Wolf and Batsy comic. And then what does the zombie do? Grabs some boobies and bites on the neck. Holds the boobies and then looks at the other girl. You could take the life out of the man, but you can't take the man out of the zombie. And run. And then here comes he's. What did I do? So this guy's working on the device. Look at this though. Look at this. So he's like, hey, dude, watch the shades. Boom. The zombies pull it off the shirt because, again, they may be dead, but they're still men. And now they just devour this poor girl. And this guy's like, I got to turn this off. And he gets devoured. And then these two are just beating the crap out of each other when this comes out. She's like, what is going on? Now what? Oh, we got, stop fighting. They got zombies. And now she's beating up zombies with the zombie's own arm. She's fighting monsters, What do we do? And now they're surrounded, and we get this guy. Turn it off. What does he say? He says, turn it off. So, you know, Pellicula, she works on the machine, turns it off, and the zombies are no longer animated. Wow, what do you do? That's a neat trick. And then bop, she punches her and escapes. Now let's see. Now we have to predict where Pellicula's just walking. You know, these guys, you know. And here's some ads if you want to get back issues, you know. And here's Richard Sala. I don't know who this girl is, but Lucky Richard. And here's the back cover. And it's funny because at this point now, when I see it in color, it takes me out of it. I really do like the black and white. You know, I'm a big fan of black and white comics. I'm a big fan of black and white movies. You know, if you know, and you know, Brian Bowles, Wolf and Betsy. When I see the covers, I'm like, yay! But it reminds me that it's different because the inside is always black and white. You know, and he's a horror fan, so black and white works perfect for that. So there you go. I really dig this. I have no idea where it's going. There's only 12 more issues, and then I bought some graphic novels that Richard Sala did, and then I think he died in 2018. You know, it's pretty sad. I just really got into this guy, and like I really got into him. I decided I was going to be like a super fan of the guy, and then I found out he was dead. I got really sad. You know, I don't know. I'm weird in that way. But there you go. This is Evil Eye by Richard Sala. I recommend this. I think this is a lot of fun. All right, bye bye.